Hey guys, I'm going to show you 5 things and maybe 6 things that I really love about the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5. The 6th thing might be a little bit controversial because you need some accessories in order to use it. The first one is obvious. It is the inner screen of this Galaxy Z Fold 5. This foldable screen is a foldable dynamic AMOLED and it is 120Hz display. The big screen on this Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5 has a peak brightness of 1750 nits and the device is 7.6 inch in dimension and also it is HDR10+. Due to the aspect ratio, if you zoom in on the video and made it full screen on this Galaxy Z Fold 5, some areas of the video are going to be cut, and especially if it is in the portrait orientation. For video viewing, it is best to have the device in landscape orientation and do not zoom in because you will lose some of the specifics of the video. On the other end, the outer screen is not bad. It is smaller. It is specifically half of the size of the inner screen, and you can see you can view your videos on the outer screen, interact with this device with the outer screen also, and you can open the device and fold it at a specific angle in order to have a viewing experience with the outer screen. You just saw it, if you pass a certain angle, the inner screen is going to take over. Having a big inner screen and a usable outer screen, I no longer have a tablet and I will not seek a tablet in the near future because this device does fulfill my tablet's need and also it is a smartphone. I think what I do not like with tablet is that they are big, they take space, and especially the tablets that will fulfill my needs. So having the Galaxy Z Fold 4 previously, I stopped using the tablet that I have at home, so I no longer use it. Most of the things that I do is on the Galaxy Z Fold 5 now, and especially having an S Pen that is very critical for the multitasking portion of this device make everything easy. And I can say that if I didn't have this device, I will most likely have a tablet that I will be using every day. Also, while viewing a video, you can transform that video into a small section of the screen and move it around. You can also make it bigger or smaller. This is what we love about Samsung Galaxy. I know recently iPhone started to do this with the YouTube application and other applications to have the video move around the screen, but it is not quite efficient as what we can see on the Samsung Galaxy smartphones. Most of the time, this is how I consume video on my smartphones. Let me know if you do the same in the comment box. So everything that I said apply to the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4 and the Galaxy Z Fold 3. They all share this aspect of multitasking and this aspect of the One UI that we can see on the Galaxy Z Fold 5. The second thing that I love about the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5 is the RAM. The RAM of this device is huge. It has 12 gigs of RAM. If you want a decent computer, you should go with a 16 gigs of RAM. So this device has 12 gigs of RAM. It is missing only 4 gigs and I'm pretty sure we are going to close that gap very soon. This makes this device a multitasking monster. Currently, I have 4.8 gigs of RAM available. I'm going to open a bunch of applications and I will see what I'm left with. I said earlier this Galaxy Z Fold 5 has 12 gigs of RAM, but you can maximize that with an additional RAM that is on the setting and you can have up to 20 gigs of RAM on your smartphone. So currently I have 3.4 gigs of RAM left and previously I had 4.8. So I simply used an extra 1.4 gigs of RAM after opening all these applications. This simply shows the efficiency of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 that is inside this smartphone, and also everything is going to stay fluid because you still have a lot of RAM memory left in order to do all your stuff. I had 5.8 gigs of RAM after I closed all the applications and then I cleaned everything inside the RAM application setting and you can see I have 6.4 left. So with the system of the Galaxy Z Fold 5 with everything running on the background, you can have 6.4 gigs of available RAM for you to use, which means that the device is using only 1.6 gigs of RAM. This is the setting of the RAM Plus. You can see you can choose a bunch of additional RAMs. I have it to the maximum 8 gigs of RAM and I think you should do the same. The third thing that I love about the Galaxy Z Fold 5 is the S Pen, the integration of the S Pen inside the case, and this one is a good one. On my right, you have the S Pen that was released with the Galaxy Z Fold 5. On the left, you have the Galaxy Z Fold S Pen Edition. I got this one with my Galaxy Z Fold 4. I believe that any S Pen that is closer to the S Pen that we can find on the S22 Ultra and S23 Ultra is a win for the Samsung Galaxy S Pen. And we certainly know that the goal for the S Pen is to have the same size as the S Pen that is on the S23 Ultra, and most likely on the Galaxy Z Fold 6 it will happen and it will be inside the device. The S Pen Galaxy Fold Edition is bigger and taller than the new S Pen that was released with this one. I think most of you with the Galaxy Z Fold 4 and the Galaxy Z Fold 3 should go and get this new S Pen. You will love it and you will see and experience the same thing as I am doing with my Galaxy Z Fold 5. We cannot talk about the Galaxy Z Fold 5 without mentioning multitasking. Multitasking is in the core of this Galaxy Z line. You can just take one application and put it at the top or at the bottom. Currently, I have the YouTube application at the top of the screen, half of the top of the screen. At the bottom, I have the Gmail application open to take a look at my emails. This is the most basic multitasking that you can do on your Galaxy Z Fold 5, and you can also add a third application in a floating mode, and you can see you can shrink down that application, make it bigger in order to see the content of the application. Most of the time while I'm using this device, I'm using two applications, one at the top and the other one at the bottom, and if I really need to use a third application simultaneously, I will have that application floating. You can see I have the note-taking app. It is in floating mode. If you click on it, it is going to appear. And if you want to have it maximized on the screen, you can do that. Another thing that I love about this multitasking is that the device is going to save your preset of the application that you have combined in the past. After clicking on that icon, you're ready to work on your two applications. Also, the application that is in floating mode can be moved around in order to not block your view on the other two applications. You can also minimize it and you will have a small icon of that application that appear on the screen. Since it is called multitasking, you have the ability to open other applications in the floating mode. Here you can see the two applications that are in floating mode. Here again you can move them around anywhere on the screen. And by the way, this is going to happen also on the outer screen if you want to use multitasking with the outer screen of your Galaxy Z Fold 5. Here is the camera of the Galaxy Z Fold 5. It is a standard triple camera system on the back of this device, and it is very similar to the one that we had on the Galaxy Z Fold 4. One thing that is never going to let you miss the frame while taking a picture or a video is the cover screen of the Galaxy Z Fold 5. You can turn the other screen into a preview screen for the camera photography. With the Galaxy Z Fold 5, you do not have access to 100x zooming, but you have a maximum of 30x zooming, which is not bad. It is in line with other smartphones that can do up to 30x. But most of them cannot do 30x. The camera quality of the Galaxy Z Fold 5 is excellent for the type of device that it is, a foldable smartphone. It doesn't have the high-end camera system that we can find on the S23 Ultra, but it is decent and it is excellent in what it can do and provide you. As opposed to the S23 Ultra, the Galaxy Z Fold 5 has two front-facing cameras. This is the front-facing camera for the inner screen. You can see this one is under the display. This camera itself is not very good, but it uses a lot of processing in order to enhance the picture and the videos that you take with the under the screen camera. The front facing camera for the outer screen, the cover screen, is a much higher quality camera. It is going to provide you the best pictures and video for the front facing camera, but remember, you can use the rear camera and use the front screen as a preview. Take all your pictures, so no need to use the front facing camera if you want to take pictures or videos. Another superpower of the Galaxy Z Fold 5 is the ability to have an Android desktop experience with your Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5. Either you can use it with the Samsung DeX, or you can simply duplicate the screen on your Galaxy Z Fold 5 and have access to the big screen and simply have a big screen with all your favorite applications. Thanks to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 made for Galaxy, the Galaxy Z Fold 5 DeX experience is not going to lag in any way, but it is going to increase your productivity. This is only an overview of Samsung DeX. I made a specific video with the Galaxy Z Fold 4 using Samsung DeX and also the Galaxy Z Fold 5. You can also see that with the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5, your internet speed is going to be really high. I'm using 5G with T-Mobile on this Galaxy Z Fold 5.